Welcome back to the Scuffed Extreme Moar Chunk Locked, and welcome to our first rolled chunk, the Sunset Cove. At first glance, this chunk might not seem like much, but it actually unlocks several new skills, namely woodcutting, fletching, and firemaking due to these basic trees, and access to a brand new shop full of raw fish and fishing supplies. But before I get too far ahead, let's go ahead and talk about this chunk's tasks. First up, we have two very easy tasks yet again. We need to chop a log, and subsequently burn said logs. We'll also need to get 10 fletching in order to fletch an unstrung longbow, which might actually be our first decent money maker on the account. And finally, we need to get 45 cooking in order to cook a swordfish. I'm not quite sure how we're going to get that done, but let's get to work. Go ahead and chop our very first set of logs in the account, and that is task complete. Of course, as is RuneScape fashion, fail to light logs since we're level 1. But that is the second easy task of the bunch completed. As for the third task, this is going to require a nice and quick level montage. We're not quite at 10 fletching, but that is a massive 200 total level milestone achieved in the chunk locked. And at this rate, we'll be maxed in no time. Yeah, right. What the hell? I didn't know the sandwich lady gave out subscribe buttons? That's crazy. Don't mind if I do. Hey, there's level 10 fletching, and fun fact, from what I can tell, I can't actually get a bowstring at all. But I can go ahead and make that unstrung longbow and complete our third task of the chunk. And the moment of truth, 24 coins per longbow. That's actually quite good. This might not be the most insane moneymaker, but I mean, it's a start. Now, I haven't done the most thorough research into this. And by that, I mean, I haven't actually really put any research into this, but hear me out. We need to get level 45 cooking for the swordfish. And these raw sardines are selling for 10 coins each. So I'm just gonna spend all my money and see how far this gets me. Ooh, yeah, the burn rate seems to be about a 50-50, and I can't sell these back to the shop, so it's just a straight up loss. It is way more cost effective than the rabbits from the charter shop though, so I'm not gonna complain. All right, I am officially broke. I did manage to get all the way up to level 13 cooking though, so a pretty decent start. An interesting thing that I noticed in the shop, however, the prices of the fish are all over the place. 10 GP a sardine, 15 a mackerel, back down to 10 for a raw cod, and then 40 for tuna or bass, 80 for a raw swordfish, and then 70 coins for a lobster. Now let's do a bit of napkin math here. Now at 10 GP for a sardine, we're getting a measly 40 cooking experience. Now if we were to buy mackerel, that would only be 60 cooking experience. Now keep in mind, I'm not considering the actual burn rate of these fish, but if we go up to the cod, which is back down to 10 GP each, that is a whopping 75 cooking experience a pop. Same price as a sardine, cheaper than the mackerel, but way more XP per coin. So you'd think 40 GP for a tuna, that's 4 times 10. Okay, 4 cod, that's 300 cooking experience potentially there, right? How much XP do you think a tuna is? It's 100. I already have it up on the screen. Now, I'm not even going to bother with the rest of the fish, but just know that they basically just get worse and worse. So that leaves us with a very straightforward method of sardines to 18 cooking, and then cod all the way to 45. Of course, in order to do that, we're going to need a lot of money. I estimate around 9,000 GP. Thankfully, we can now put our newfound fletching skills to use, and our plan is going to be make a bunch of unstrung bows, sell them for a ton of cash, single-handedly keep the local COD economy alive, end up absolutely broke with nothing yet again, repeat as needed, and then hopefully that'll earn us the ability to cook a swordfish. I'm obviously not going to world hop one longbow at a time for the maximum of 24 coins apiece. Doing it in batches of 5 is 20 coins apiece, which is not too bad. Any more than that, and they're already selling for 15 coins a piece, which is a little bit too low for my taste. And while I was here, I did want to check, arrow shafts and feathers are both 0 coins, but what about headless arrows? Okay, yeah, that's also a big 0 GP, nice. You know, part of me really wants to keep this mine talisman, but it's so far away I don't think I'll ever use it, and right now an inventory slot is very important. There's level 15 fletching. I can make iron arrows now, which is somewhat doable, but I don't think I can actually get a bow, so I don't know if I'll ever do that. But on the bright side, that is a total level of 225. Oh, a pinball random event. 5 cut rubies? They sell for 400 coins each? That's like 1 1/4 inventories a ruby. Hell yeah. That single random event probably just saved like an hour plus. That's crazy. Oh my god, there's new information available from the woodcutting tutor in Lumbridge. Sick! Bet you'll never guess what me and my bronze axe just did. 30 woodcutting. I can now chop a willow tree someday. Nice. Considering how repetitive this grind is, I'm sure I probably don't have very many interesting clips, but enjoy 31 woodcutting, 9 fire making, and 20 fletching back to back to back. Alright, we have 9,019 GP. I'm sure that I'm probably going to be a little bit short depending on how lucky I am with the burns, but I'm really sick of woodcutting, fletching, and selling, and hopping, and repeating. So I'm finally going to get some cooking started, and hopefully future me will have something interesting to show in the edit, because I don't think sardine cooking is going to cut it. Ladies and gentlemen, it is with great pleasure that I introduce to you the first annual Sunset Cove COD cooking competition, also known as the SCCCC, brought to you in part by our friends over at Becaria's Fishing Shop.
You know, I was hesitant at first with the amount of cod they wanted me to supply for this competition. But when I saw that big fat stack of gold coins, I just couldn't resist.
And our friends over at Bob's Brilliant Axes.
I wasn't sure how I was going to expand the business into Varlamore, but after hearing about the cooking competition, I just knew this was going to be a hit.
And of course, a quick word from this year's lovely contestants.
I'm just here for the cod.
Hello, very much COD. Yes?
Oh, don't mind me. I'm also here for the cod.
Wait, you guys are getting the cod for free? I had to pay full price for this shit. Haha, anyways, the rules are simple. The person who successfully cooks the most cod before the day is done wins and gets to take home our special trophy. What, we couldn't afford the trophy? Scratch that, folks. The winner gets to take home a very special prize, 1,000 cod bucks. Without further ado, let the competition officially begin. You know what's kind of crazy? It took me 39 cooking levels to learn how to put butter on a potato. Holy moly, guys. Lobster moment. Oh my god. That's level 40 cooking. Welcome back to cod cooking, where the cod is still cooking. No, dude, I just bought so many tuna. Please cook. No, dude, no. Holy dude, I can't believe I made such a mistake. Welcome back to COD cooking yet again, where I'm facing the reality of running out of cash. Yeah, I went and ran the numbers again, and I'm about 1,200 coins or so shy now. I would have been a little bit short, but that tuna really set me back. So I'm sure this will probably be seamless for you, but I have to do some more chopping and fletching. There's the big old level 45 cooking. I can now go ahead and cook a swordfish, and whatever the hell a brockfish is, I don't even know. Probably a raids thing. It's gonna cost 80 coins a try, so hopefully I'll just knock this out in one go. Okay, just like that. That is our last task of the chunk completed. Back at it again with the Chunk Picker website. Gonna go ahead and officially mark off our tasks. 45 cooking, cook a swordfish. Level 1 fire making, burn a log. I did that quite a lot actually. Level 10 fletching, fletch a longbow. I did a whole heaping lot of that. And level 1 woodcutting, chop some logs. I also did a metric ton of that. As for the rollable chunks, we have 4. Nothing super notable here. Chunk 4, we have an oak tree. Chunk 3, we have the Hunter's Guild, but we can't actually access it because we can't train Hunter. Chunk number 2, we can access Sand Crabs for some very nice AFK combat training. And finally, in chunk number 1, we have Hill Giants, which means a very, very hard grind for a long bone and potentially the curved bone, depending on how crazy I'm feeling. But without any further hesitation, let's just go ahead and roll the next chunk. Please no Hill Giants. That's the only thing I don't want to deal with right now. Okay, the Hunter Guild backyard. Let's go ahead and see our new tasks. Obtain a blue wizard hat. I already did that. Bake a pita bread, 58 cooking. Wait, could I have technically done that in my starter chunk because the imp spawn was there? Uh-oh. Yes, you heard that right. This is the point right here where I realized I made a huge mistake. And also why I didn't fully commit to just calling myself an extreme, because I am an idiot. At the time, whenever I actually started the account, the chunk picker website was not 100% accurate and did not count for the imp spawn that was in the starting chunk. And even though I did get the drops for it, my brain didn't realize that I could technically cook the rabbits and then get 58 cooking to make a pita bread. So like I mentioned in the first episode, my extreme integrity is completely ruined from the get-go. But we'll just proceed like those rabbits never existed, that mistake never happened, and let's go ahead and check out our new chunk and its set of tasks. Alright, the very first task, obtain a blue wizard hat. I already have that, so just mark that off, throw it out the window, it's gone. We need to get 58 cooking in order to bake a pita bread. As for the 2 rare imp drops that I got last time, I turned that into bread and burned it, so I have to kill a bunch more of those. The third task is a level 15 woodcutting in order to chop some oak logs. I already have that, I just gotta go chop the new oak tree. Level 15 fire making in order to burn oak logs. I don't quite have that, but not too hard. Level 27 fletching in order to fletch an oak shield, which also happens to be our new best in slot shield, period. Nothing too difficult here yet again, but since it's pretty much an exact repeat of the last chunk, I'm just gonna go ahead and blitz through this and get it over with. Alright, in a second now. Okay, that is our first set of oak logs and our first task complete. Before I continue on, I noticed this cave, and technically I would consider this as the chunk, as it's right on the edge. I don't know what's in here. Let's find out. Okay, I guess it's just like a funny hee hee ha ha meme cave. What a shame. Guys, do you see that? That is like this, but in a solid bar form. This better be worth like 100 coins, I swear. Value. 120? Feels good, man. The oak short bows are worth less than the normal wood longbows. Damn, that sucks. Oh, hey, I don't remember if I did the last one of these, but that is a total level of 275. Very cool. Still struggling to light logs, but that is level 15 fire making, which means we can go ahead and burn an oak log and complete our second task of the chunk. The first ever bird nest in the account. I actually wonder if you can even get bird nests from regular trees. I'm assuming you can't, because I chopped a lot of those already. Anyways, a banana tree seed, which is going in the ground, because I can't ever plant that. Well, at least not here. 181 GP for a bird nest, though. That's actually kind of good. I mean, ideally I would bank this, but I'm not getting a Leo random anytime soon. I mean, these nests are like 8,000 GP on the Grand Exchange, though. Is this worth selling? You know what? Screw it. I'm selling it. Moneymaker update. Oak longbows sell for 32 coins. So a pretty nice entirety improvement over the 24 from a regular longbow. And here is 27 fletching for the oak shield, which is not only a skilling task, but also a new best in slot item task. 2 birds with 1 oak log. I skipped over this bird egg nest because I'm likely never going to use it. However, I've made the executive decision that I'm not getting a Leo random for that bank deposit box. So I'm gonna go ahead and just clear out my inventory, drop these beads. Whenever I get access to a bank, maybe I'll just farm them out later. I don't know. I just grabbed them for the sake of it, really. As for the XP lamps, I don't really know. This might be a bad idea, but for now, I'm gonna put them into smithing. Does this change anything for the next 50 years? No. I need level 15 to actually train it, but, you know, out of my inventory. I'm not going to bore you with a bunch of napkin math yet again, but according to my rough calculations, I need about 2200 COD cooked in order to get 58 cooking. At 10 GP a COD, that's 22,000 GP, which I should have after selling this inventory. For the record, yeah, doing rabbits would have been like n times the GP without a moneymaker. Yeah, mad respect to anybody that has to go through that. I'm kind of glad I overlooked that because that would have been awful, honestly. All right, I'm not going to bore you with thousands of COD being fried in this little oven again. Here's all the levels in between. And here's level 58 cooking. Now I just got to get my hands on a pot of flour and a jug of water from these imps and hope I get it as fast as I did the first time. There's another XP lamp for smithing, and we're still 3 away until level 2, which at this rate is gonna take forever. Bam! Level 17 prayer. That's pretty cool, right? Okay, I don't know how many imps I had to start with, but I am about to 100 imps killed now. Finally got our hands on the pot of flour and the jug of water. Let's go ahead and make the dough and get this task knocked out. I have no idea if you can burn this, but if you can, I'm gonna cry. Okay, thank God that is done. I'm not gonna complain because I had way easier of a time than it could have been, but that is the final task of this chunk completed. Well, we find ourselves on the Chunk Picker website yet again. We have all of our tasks completed. No more weird surprises that I'm not thinking of, I hope. Let's go ahead and talk about each chunk, I guess in the order that they're listed here. Chunk number 1, the sand crab chunk. This would be a very, very nice chunk to get for some combat training, but aside from that, pretty much a freebie. Chunk number 2, the Hunter's Guild. Fun fact, and I didn't even know this personally when I was planning this account, but there's actually an accessible bank literally right there. You don't actually need any requirements to get that. You can just walk straight in and access it. So that would obviously be an amazing chunk to get. Chunk number 3, from what I can tell, is basically just some backwoods with a bunch of random bandits. Nothing too notable here, but we will get a steel weapon, the steel scimitar specifically, which would be pretty nice. Chunk number 4 is the hill giant chunk, which means a very questionable grind if we get that first before anything else. Pretty much gonna have to be punching them to death, or I guess bronze pickaxing them to death. I don't know, it would be pretty bad though. Do not want to get that. Speaking of chunks that I absolutely do not want to get, chunk number 5 is the mining chunk. Now, I'm not quite sure if I'd be going for 70 mining to mine adamantite or 90 mining to mine a tier 9 star. I don't really like how there's no difference between a tier 1 to 9 star, really. I don't consider 90 mining a cool unlock for that. If I did settle for 70 mining, I would like to at least get enough stardust for all the stuff from the shop in the future. As a compromise, I don't really know. It's one of these things that's like, for semi-extremes, they don't do it. I don't really want to do it, but I'll figure that out when I get there. But let's go ahead and roll our new chunk. Please have mercy. Okay, well, that's not the chunk I would like to have, but luck of the draw, it is what it is. I'm gonna leave you guys on a nice cliffhanger here, but I guess this time you know what next episode's gonna be. A ton of mining. And I guess leave a comment down below if you'd rather I go for 70 mining or 90 mining, although by the time the video will come out, I'll already have done one. If you've watched all the way to the end here, Thank you so much for watching episode 2 of Sunchunks. I know the editing was a bit all over the place, but I had so many ideas and so many repetitive samey clips. Anyways, I want to give a huge shout out to the channel members now. We have NVZ and Distro at the Drip Enjoyer tier, followed by our newest member, a Noob Meister. And over at the Drip Expert tier, we have Johnny. You guys are all absolute legends, and it's thanks to your support that I can continue doing this amazing hobby. And as always, I'll see you in the next one.